Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. This is NewOaks AI podcast. I'm your host, Leland Best of Best Studios LLC, along with my guest, Ray Luan, CEO of NewOaks and EasySite. So, what's going on today, Ray? How you doing?
Good, good. Thank you, Leland. So it's getting hot here.
Is
The
it
summer is
warming up?
coming. So yeah, yeah. So I have to turn around the air conditioner every night and keep
Already.
my brain clear. So
Do
that
you do
because I
like a
work
cold
every
ice dip and stuff in the morning too over there?
yeah yeah.
Not one of those
I
guys.
like spring better. Yeah,
Yeah, me too. It's not hot here, Ray. It's literally
yeah.
today it was cloudy and rainy and like 45 degrees.
Wow,
It was actually
wow.
cold today for a
It's
May
just still
afternoon.
cold.
So
Yeah,
it's Michigan. You never
yeah,
know. Stick around for a day. The weather changes all the time around here. So we never know what we're going to get.
yeah.
So let's talk
Mich-
AI, Ray. What's going on in the spotlight tonight? We've got a few minutes to talk about a few things here that I saw you brought to the table that I
yeah.
didn't know was going on. What's this love art AI going on? I didn't even hear anything about this. So what's the scoop on love art?
Yeah, Lovart is one of the recently released AI agent
Mhm.
for UI designers. So you can turn idea into a UI design very quickly. It's been the founder is CapCut's business development leader. I mean, he used to work for TikTok, right? So it's getting popular, just like Manus. A lot of it's getting the buzzword in the tech field.
Mhm.
So because they're using a lot of people are testing the software using imitation code, and
Oh,
it said it's amazing. So it's pretty straightforward just to turn your prompt into a UI design, amazing UI design. I saw a very cool video clip with
good.
Marilyn Monroe's image, right?
Mhm.
This kind of like artwork. It's pretty awesome. I haven't tried that yet, but I think it's good. It's worth it to mention it. What's in the trend
I'm having a
for
hard time
AI?
finding anything on it. Obviously, I'm looking up trends under Love Art AI and some other stuff like that, and I'm not seeing a
You can
lot of
Google it.
information. Yeah, I'm Googling it right now. It's just not one of
Okay.
those things that has a lot of data going for it right
Yeah.
now. So it might take you a
Right.
minute to search it if it's not something common in your search
Yeah.
fields. So
Yeah.
take a look for it. But
Mhm.
if I dig it up, I'll pop it up on the screen here shortly, Ray. It's just not
Yeah.
giving me much data on my end right now.
Yeah.
So sounds interesting though, because for
Yeah.
me, and it's not just a creative art tool. It's more or less what you're saying is it's a way to build really cool user interfaces is what it sounds like,
Yeah.
more so to
Yeah.
design a front end more so than a piece of art. But
Yeah.
art's very important when it comes to website design because it is the art that grabs people's attention. It's the art that draws the eye to the site, and it's the art that makes people click on images to go to places that you want them to go. So good
Yeah.
concepts. I'm glad to see it. I'll make sure we bring that up. Is that something that you feel is competitive to EasySite in any way, or is it totally off the hill? It's something could it
Mm,
incorporate and enhance EasySite in any
yeah.
way?
It's good question. So I think AI art focus on UI design and mostly front end, versus easy side. Our strength is actually on the back end. So
Mhm.
I don't think there's any direct competition. It could be a good way to compensate what each side can do. So, yeah, that's how I say it.
I was just curious because I know there's going to be there's a lot of these AI site builders out there right now. And like we saw last week, I've compared them straight up
Mhm.
with EasySite and had much
Yeah,
better results with EasySite going forward. So
yeah,
I'm curious, like,
that's
what
right.
kinds of do you see yourself adding third party plugins to this software in any way? Is there an
Yes.
opportunity to open up for that?
Exactly. I think me and my partner, we have been talking about how should we grow EasySite. I think moving forward, we're going to open EasySite and make it part of the bigger ecosystem of MCP, which
Oh,
means
okay.
that MCP is a new protocol, right?
Mhm.
We're going to implement MCP so that you can build any kind of plugins to EasySite with the protocol of MCP.
Nice.
which makes EasySite more powerful and connected to all kinds of tools and make it a marketplace. So that's the plan.
And then as far as what's happening over at OpenAI, always something to talk about over there with Sam and the team. They introduced a new coding platform, which I didn't see coming. So they got a name for it, and it's pretty straightforward. They have introduced Codex. So this was as of May 16th, 2025. You want to tell us, Ray, what is Codex? And I'll see if I can get a login here and maybe show people what's.
Yeah, actually, I just saw the announcement. Haven't really tested yet, but from my understanding, Codex is something similar to Cursor. It's an AI agent that OpenAI built, just specialize in coding, focus on help, developers to too much code, coding work, just like Cursor for daily coding work. Yeah, that's my understanding. It's not like an application, build apps for business owners. I think it's focused on helping developers to do better code. That's my understanding of that tool.
I got it. And some of the benchmarks here, if you're interested in any of those when it comes to performing without agents MD files and custom scaffolding, you can see how many Codex and in O3 high, especially when it comes to the SW3 bench verified and OpenAI internal SW3 or SW3 text. So kind of cool. I mean, everybody's obviously focused on coding implementation when it comes to AI right now, Ray. Do you see that being, I mean, it's a significant shift, obviously, in what we're accustomed to when it comes to like the pre-training that we were doing with LLMs previously. Now we're at this stage where it's just opening up the entire coding aspect. And now with OpenAI and Anthropic and even some of the other platforms like DeepSeek Research coming into play. What is their coding platform called? Don't they have a name? It's R1, right? Or is it out of R1? It's R5 that codes, right?
R1 is a reasoning model. It's not specialized in coding. It's like the R1 or I don't know, R3 or R4. It's like Sonnet. Okay. It's their reasoning model. It's not just for coding. DeepSeek, I think they focus on their, really infrastructure. Yeah.
But I know there are some other ones out there, and I've seen just some platforms that are coming out now that are helping people use AI to generate code, where they've really just taken an LLM and refined it a little bit and distilled it a little bit to be a little better at coding and calling it a product. So there's a little difference in that, but it's obviously give or take which way you want to go with that. So, but this obviously enables developers to build apps and websites through natural language instructions, expanding on past efforts like Copilot, being able to just ask for the instructions and have it perform. So really good stuff. Thinking time. So tell us about Lilian Weng's blog summary that was just introduced the other day. I didn't actually read it myself. So tell me about AI thinking time, Ray. What's that like?
Yeah, so there is a recently OpenAI's research scientist Lilian just released a blog about the future trend of AI. Literally, the title is How We Think. I think that the key summary, the takeaway of the blog is that AI has been developed for the past 3 years because the major breakthrough is train of thought process. And the recent finding is that the longer the thinking time during train of thought, the better the performance will be. So the idea of the blog is that moving forward, the future development of AI is to optimize the train of thought process, make the model can think longer and get a better result for future models like GPT-5. I think that's the whole purpose of the blog. She just pointed out, what's the direction that the fundamental technology of AI to develop to get a smarter and more powerful, super intelligence AI models. So train of thought thinking is the direction, and because the fun thing is that the AI models, the way that we build AI models, just imitate humans. I think that's a fun thing, right?
Sure.
yeah, it's so another article, another speech from Google's chief scientist Jeff Deans also pointed out that there are two major technologies that really is paved the fundamental of AI, which is the neural network. Mm-hmm. You use neural network is a technology which I took class during my time in University of Texas. I had a class called neural network, but back to then I didn't realize it was so powerful. I think it's just something that you can learn, and it's not really useful back then. It's over 10 years ago.
We didn't know
so neural network,
yeah,
neural network and back propagation. So I think the main indication of those two species approach is that AI is not as smart as we expected yet, but it will be. With the train of thinking technology, the transformer, and also, of course, the hardware development. Google has TPU and NVIDIA has GPU. So I think it's going to be amazing. I just cannot wait to see, what's coming in front of us. The powerful AI will, what kind of amazing magical product the AI we can use AI to build.
Oh, sure. I mean, I've seen still a lot of errors in the way that AI thinks. And obviously, how can we as humans create something that's smarter than ourselves? And I keep thinking about that at times where I'm like, that means we have to create an intelligence that can suddenly learn more or better or faster than we can. So that seems like an impossibility to me. And even some of the articles I've seen, well, AI can't even tell time yet. How are we supposed to trust that it's accurate if it can't even know that it's 3 a.m. where you're at when you're talking to it? And I've had that problem training chatbots just to be able to schedule appointments for people where it doesn't get the time zone right. And even then, it knows someone's calling from Chicago, and yet it still gets the time wrong. And you're like, really? You should be smarter than this. Why can't you figure this out? But for some reason, there's a fault error tolerance there that we haven't overcome yet. And it kind of boggles the mind when you think about it. So, all right. But what would you really bring up to this is two types of systems, really. And that's the fast thinking and the slow thinking, where we have a process that allows us to get an immediate answer with something quick that we know works, that we can apply something to a strategy. And then there's the deep thought, the slow thinking, the deliberate process, the reasoning that we want it to do so that it comes up with a full conclusion and analysis of the type of stuff we're looking for. So, two different processes, two different reasons. So she was right on.
Right.
All right. So for EasySite, we're back to features, Ray. What do we got going on? I know with the big UI and the brand overhaul, everything is now labeled as EasySite, EasySite.ai. So if you haven't caught on to that, both pointers still work. They both go to the website, but the easy was dropped for the sake of clarity across the planet. So good job, Ray.
Yeah, we still keep the other domain name, EasySite.
Why wouldn't you? Team collab, and obviously that's a big thing that a lot of people want to see, is the ability to work together on a website. So how is the parallel editing going to work on the same project?
Right. So basically, we are releasing the team feature. It's not on yet, but it's going to be released this week. So the idea is to allow any admin account owners to invite, 3 to 4 your team members to edit the same project. So, we're going to build a role permission system and to assign different members, different permissions of how they can manage or edit the same project, just to affiliate team collaboration on the same website.
So would all of these individual programmers have to have their own EasySite account to be attached to the team account, or is it just a team payment that you have to make for that account to add people to it? Would it go either way? Or maybe that's a question I'm bringing to the table a little early. I don't know.
Right. It could go either way, but I think right now the way we do is that allow the admin to invite a sub account.
Like pay one price as a team and then invite people who you need on your team into it.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yes.
That works. All right, cool. And then GitHub, I was looking into this myself the other day because I'm working on an app right now, actually a couple apps that I'm gonna build
Yep.
inside EasySite. And in the first development I'm doing, I'm actually going to use the EasySite database first run through. And can you tell me,
Yep.
Ray, is the EasySite database a one-off of any particular like Superbase or Postgres, or is it just your own structured database that you built inside EasySite? Can you give more detail on
Yeah.
that, or is that something that's proprietary?
Yes. It's the built-in database that is not like Superbase or PostgreSQL. I think it's based on the the bottom. I mean, the nature of the database still we use Postgre, but it's
Okay,
similar to Superbase. So
gotcha.
we build something out of PostgreSQL and then make it more user friendly and more manageable for non-coders.
Mhm.
It's similar, very similar to Superbase, but it's much easier
Yeah, I noticed
because
that.
we,
That's
yeah,
why
we,
I asked.
because with, yeah,
I noticed it looked
yeah,
very
because
much like Postgres, and I'm like, wow, this is like a lean down
mhm,
version that makes it much
yeah,
easier to just look at it and understand it. It looks more like a
right,
spreadsheet process than it does,
yeah.
dealing with a database, but it works and I like it.
So the
Um,
idea that you do not need to write SQL queries, right,
yep,
to insert data and retrieve data out of database. Just use prompt
yep, I
to
like that.
manage your database.
Very
Yeah.
good stuff. And then the
Mhm.
GitHub two-way sync was what I was going to mention there is
Yeah.
that's so that you can literally fork it out to your GitHub account as a project and work on it
Yeah.
there with whoever you want to, and then
Yeah.
upload it back into the system, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Exactly. So yeah. So first that there are two ways you can manage your code. You can either export your code locally into your computer and use it anywhere. And the other way is that you can, for a lot of developers, you can export the code to your GitHub account and add it within your GitHub account and import it back in. It should be on the settings, I think.
Yep, I'm getting there. Just go into
Yeah.
a project so that I get
Right.
to it.
And another benefit of GitHub two-way sync is that some of my customers, they used to use other platforms like Lovable or 10 Web, something like that. And then they want to move their project to EasySite. For example,
Mhm.
if you're a Lovable or Bolt new customer, right? You want to move your project to EasySite. So the best way is to export your code from Lovable or Bolt new to GitHub and then import the code from GitHub to EasySite. So that way you can move the project out of the other website builders with ease.
I like that. That makes things so much easier to be able to import
Yeah.
directly, always. And then I
Yeah.
saw a link come through in the announcements for today's podcast, and I see that EasySite, well, you used EasySite AI to build an
Yeah.
affiliate program for
Right.
EasySite AI. So I thought
Yeah.
that was pretty cool. Can
Exactly.
you tell us about how that went down, Ray, and how the
Yeah.
process of the build was accomplished? Or was it simple, straightforward, one command?
Yeah.
What did it take?
Yes, so we if you go to EasySite's main page on the bottom, you will see affiliate. If you click affiliate, you will get affiliate website, which is built by EasySite itself. It's powered by EasySite. So that's the beauty of EasySite. So we are moving forward. We are going to build a lot of tools like affiliate or roadmap, a feature request, even email marketing tools with EasySite. So EasySite is going to be the platform or marketplace for AI apps.
Okay.
So that is the beauty of AI coding, which means that you do not need to use AI to code anymore. You can
Mhm.
use EasySite to prompt to build any kind of tools. So affiliate is a very simple demo actually. You can, copy or use your word prompt to build a front end. On the back end, you just tell AI, I need to build affiliate
Mhm.
website, and please save the data that the user entered into database. Then on the backend, the AI will plan the structure of the whole database. You do not need to worry about user login or anything. Just ask AI to design a structure. It can do a better job.
Yeah, I
And
noticed
then
that.
we just, yeah. So that's the
I
idea.
did the
And
same.
you can,
Yeah.
yeah. And then it has a reporting structure, right? It can allows you to display, the number of views every day, the number of leads, and the number of sales that it generated. So it literally use AI to retrieve the data from the database and
Mhm.
present it as a analytics report,
Mhm.
which is very powerful too for a lot of business owners, because we all know that reporting is a pain on the ass,
Yeah, it
right?
is.
If you ask a
Always.
developer to write a report, it's going to cost you 1 month at least, right? Any
Yeah.
simple
Yeah.
report, yeah, it takes months, at least weeks to get report. But this
Always.
way, it's much easier to generate any report you want out of your database. So I think that's the fun and the benefit of use AI to build your full stack website.
So what do
It's
you
just a demo.
find? Yeah, what do you find to
Mhm.
be like the number of iterations you have to go through before you have a working website or application typically?
Yeah, that's a good question. So generally, it will take at least 5 to 10
Mhm.
iterations around to build a complete ready website, because for the first prompt it literally build the framework or the outline of the website, right? And then you add different features or modules on top of it, and then the final stage is going to be detailing, right? It's just like you clean your car, you build a lot of details, you spend a lot of time to modify the details,
Mhm.
the images, wordings, the color, themes. That's spend you spend most time on. Use visual edit or AI prompt or even edit code directly to change the font size or the font um, selection of your
Mhm.
content, right? So I would say 5 to 10 at least.
That's about what I'm running.
20.
And I wanted to
Yeah,
mention one thing about those iterations to people
yeah,
that the beauty of EasySite is it has a restore function. And
yeah,
what that allows you to do once you've generated a process and you see what
yeah,
you've come up with, and you make an iteration that changes anything on that build, and you go, oh, that's totally different than what I thought I was going to get. That's not
yeah,
what I want. You can simply pick over here on the restore button in the upper left corner, and it allows you to see the previous iterations. So you can come over here and select on it and actually see a preview of what that iteration looked like before you restore it. And then it actually gives you the option to restore it or not. So you have a choice, the last stage, to know that you're
yeah,
going to overwrite everything on your system. So, but keep that in mind, even if you do restore it, you can go back to the one that you restored over top of. So really cool stuff, Ray. I was using that tremendously last night because I
yeah,
was having problems with some of the pricing tables and getting the pricing tables
yeah,
right. And I had to
yeah,
go back. I just had to go back. And I was like,
yeah,
this is something that really saved me hours of having to move things around or start over, because I could go to the database, change some pricing product tables,
yeah.
and just let it
Mhm.
regenerate and it would fill in the data from the database. So that was really cool. I
Right.
appreciate it.
Yeah. So restoration is really critical feature if you mess up the
Yeah.
code, right?
Mhm.
So it's always mess up with the code because we're not coders, and we ask you why AI to write the code. But the best recovery technology is to use restoration. It's actually one of the most critical feature you
Yeah.
mentioned
Yeah.
for iteration and build a complete and mature working product.
Mhm. Now
Good
I have
finding.
run in, just so I'll mention this, just not as a knock on EasySite, but there was a time or two, Ray, when I was in an edit and I was using
Yeah,
the edit website in real time, where
yeah,
you can pick on this item and actually hover
yeah,
over a content item
yeah.
and make a change. And what it does is it gives you an item box. Let me just pick something here where I can
Mhm.
select an element. And what'll
Yeah.
come up on the left is where you actually edit the element. Now you can edit it here in textual form, but I found sometimes it doesn't always hold that edit. You have to make sure you come over here and edit in the box and then save that edit so that it reiterates
Yeah.
throughout the site. And I have seen
Yeah.
one or two occasions, Ray, where I've done that and it says I found 5 or 6, but
Yeah.
2 of them couldn't be fixed. And it tells
Yeah.
me that it says it can't fix it. Is there a reason
Right.
why it's stalling and not changing those? Can you give us a little insight on why it's not making those edits?
Yes, good finding. So because the code was generated by AI, so sometimes the content, I mean, either the word or the image you're trying to modify is a variable.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a not direct HTML code.
Gotcha.
So you cannot change one content but leave other content still as a variable. So AI cannot doesn't allow you to change it manually under visual edit mode. But as an alternative, we can always use the selection mode and select the elements and tell AI to change the specific element with prompt. So that's
Yeah, with a prompt.
that's the way to compensate that you can manually change the elements. And if that doesn't work, you still can go to the code review panel and
Okay.
change the content in the code
Sure.
level. So there are three ways to do the detailing of the project or change the details.
Okay.
First, use the visual edit, which is free of charge, right? If it doesn't work, sometimes the AI use variables to display the content. You cannot change with manual edit, then go to selection mode, use
Yeah, I
AI
get it.
prompt to change it. And if still doesn't work, or it costs you tokens, you can always go to the code preview panel, use code edit feature to change the HTML elements in the code level, and then save it and compile it, and it also works.
Yep. And I'm just showing everyone on the screen here. I was using the edit website content in real time the first time. This is the element editing. And then the toggle to the code is here, where then you can edit from here and actually go in and edit the code personally.
Exactly.
One other thing I wanted to ask Ray is over here in the chat box. I noticed this feature last night and I wasn't really sure what its purpose was. I see here we have a chat and a make dev. So it's there's two different modes here. I didn't realize were in place. So can you give me more clarity there on what those two roles are?
Sure. Yeah. So chat mode is our recent released feature. It's used to, so first of all, the chat, if you click the chat mode, it becomes highlighted, right? Highlighted. And it means that every prompt you write in the prompt window will not change the code. So under chat mode, it only do two things: planning your features of your website or debug your code, but it doesn't change your code.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. So that's a way that you can kind of discuss with the AI what you want to do and see what he's going to respond with before you actually create.
That's
now
right.
I get it. Okay.
That's right.
Sense.
And then after the planning, discussion, or the debug, the AI is going to propose a prompt you can use. And there's another button called send, or we may change the wording to apply changes. If you click the button, it will actually change the code. So chat mode is like talking to an expert, right? Talking AI, use AI as an expert about how do you want to build a website. There's a bug, so debug the code for you, but doesn't that change the code? It's use a think tank.
I like it. More brainstorming is always good when it comes to development. So in this case, that's cool that you have that separated feature. All right, Ray. Well, let's kind of wrap it up. You got one other feature that's planned for next week, and this feature's got a cool little name called Remix. I don't know what that means, but what is Remix when it comes to EasySite?
Yep. Remix that if you are a user and you build a public project, so we can publish your project as a template under the prompt window on our main page. So there will be a lot of templates, shared templates. And then if you do not want to start your website from scratch, you can always use the template and remix it with your own idea into a new project or website. So that's the whole idea. So borrow someone's idea or innovation and turn that into your own. That's the beauty of Remix.
Yeah, I'll just throw this out there. Have you considered a marketplace so that people could charge for their template foundations if they wanted, like if they had a really nice, huge, elaborate build that they could fire up a price on the template and be good? That sounds great because I see that being my future. I've got a lot of ideas on templates I want to build.
Yeah, so there will be free templates for the public project, or there will be like paid templates. You have to pay to someone to use their idea. Yep.
Makes sense.
I think
That sounds
that's pretty
great.
good.
I love it. So just to wrap it
Yeah.
up, Ray, you've got the EU and global server migration taking place right now. So that's due to be wrapped up anytime soon, correct? Probably within the next week, and all of those will be
Yeah,
migrated together.
that's for NewOaks.
Yes,
That's
I'm
for
sorry,
NewOaks.
I didn't
Yeah,
mention that. Yeah, that's for new Oaks.
yeah, it's going to be done this week, and I will send announcement after the migration is finished.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Glad to hear, Ray. Well, I'm going to let you go because our time is up, and I want to thank
Yep.
anyone out there watching on Facebook or YouTube. We do appreciate all the time you guys spend with us, and come by every Tuesday night on Ray's show, NewOaks AI podcast, 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time currently, and we're going to keep it that way until things change over the summer. We usually wrap the times around for the 12-hour difference between us as the seasons change. So we'll do that after summer.
Right.
Ray, thanks for being here as always, and we'll see you next Tuesday. So take care.
See you next Tuesday. Thank you, Lilian. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.